Away for the men's 100 final. Kishane Thompson got away well. Kishane Thompson in control.
Me and Kishane, right next to each other, lane by lane, just us two dueling it out. I feel like we could have sold out the crowd.
A team play and Oblique Seville.
I don't like easy races. I hate them. I don't like going to the small races, the Florida relays.
That's your top two. Oblique Seville with a slight advantage. Lyles trying to step forward. So to a ratio. It is going to be an Oblique Seville run. It's going to be very transparent. A massive run. Look at the time as well.
This men's 100-meter final in Tokyo isn't just a race, it's an earthquake waiting to happen. Think about the numbers. 9.75 seconds, the fastest time the world has seen since Bolt was breaking the clock. Add in 9.87 seconds in the middle of a rainstorm, where one man looked untouchable while the rest of the field drowned. Now top it off with a US champion ripping 9.79 seconds. Not on a perfect day in practice, but in the middle of a pressure-filled national championship final. That's not noise, that's evidence. And the stopwatch is ready to be judge, jury, and executioner. This race doesn't just crown a winner, it rewrites sprinting's hierarchy. The truth is, championship hundreds don't reward hype or Instagram clips. They reward execution across 3 brutal rounds. The heats expose sloppy mechanics. The semis tax nerves. The final punishes hesitation like a hammer. A mistimed lean, a stumble at 30 meters, a wasted stride at 85. It's over. The margins are so small you can miss them on live TV, but the consequences are colossal. At the finals, the tape doesn't just decide medals. It redraws the sprinting map for years to come. Coaches will change their drills, rivals will rewrite their strategies, and young sprinters in playgrounds across the world will copy every frame they see. This isn't sport. It's history pressed into 10 seconds. Kishane Thompson has something nobody else in this field has, a 9.75. That number alone is enough to warp psychology. When you line up next to a man who has run faster than anyone in the last decade, you don't just race him, you question yourself. His start is volcanic. Within 30 to 40 meters, he's usually ahead, leaving everyone else scrambling. But history reminds us, the 100 isn't won at 40 meters, it's won at the tape. Thompson's greatest weapon has also been his biggest test, how he manages the final stretch when closers like Seville or Bednarek are still charging. Analysts point out the key, his chin. When it stays still, when his hands stay calm, when the posture holds, his late race fade disappears. And this year, his camp insists the perfect race is coming. If that's true, if he threads 3 rounds of that discipline, the gold isn't up for debate. But finals have a way of magnifying pressure. If he overdrives the start, if the adrenaline makes him tighten just a fraction, his gift becomes a liability. Thompson's task sounds simple but is brutally hard. Explode early, manage late, do both, and the title is his. Slip even slightly and rivals won't hesitate to drag him back to earth. That's the razor's edge he walks. 1 step from immortality, 1 step from heartbreak. Oblique Seville is sick of being called almost. 4th in 2022, 4th in 2023. A heartbreaking 8th in Paris after injury. Always close, always talented, but always 1 podium short. This year, Europe rewrote his script. London 9.86. Perfect start, ruthless execution, no debate. Lausanne 9.87 inches in sheets of rain. Everyone else slipped. He looked unbothered. That wasn't just speed, that was transferable form. When you can dominate in bad weather on foreign tracks against elite company, you've built championship habits. His evolution is clear. Less vertical bounce, more forward drive, tighter mechanics through the middle. He doesn't need his best start anymore. He just needs a good one, because once he's moving, his mid-race is a meat grinder. The danger is history. Seville knows pressure has betrayed him before and scars don't vanish overnight. But this season feels different. He's leaned into travel, into bigger stages, into beating elite fields and hostile environments. If that composure arrives in Tokyo, then the man who used to be almost stops knocking and kicks down the door. Tokyo isn't just another chance. It's his last chance to bury the ghost of close but not quite. If he does, silver is secure. Gold isn't impossible, and the narrative changes forever. Noah Lyles is sprinting's gambler. He rolls dice when others play safe. He takes risks and somehow always finds his way back into the spotlight. This season looked shaky. Injury whispers, missed time, uneven starts. Critics circled, but then he did what Lyles always does. He reappeared in July looking sharp, clocking a 9.90 season's best and running consistently enough to show he's still podium material. But here's the truth. Lyles' weakness hasn't gone away. The first 30 meters remain the danger zone. Against starters like Thompson and Coleman, he can't afford to give away daylight. In a championship final, that deficit feels like a mountain. Yet his strength, the mid-race rhythm, is lethal when it lands. Watch the posture, watch the frequency. When it clicks, the track vanishes under him. Few men in history can run a cleaner middle phase. He thrives as rounds get harder, heats sharpen him, semis sharpen him more. Finals? That's his stage. But Tokyo is no ordinary final. Against men peaking, he can't afford even one hesitant step. If he gets a clean exit, his rhythm can pull medals out of chaos. If not, he's chasing ghosts. Betting against Lyles has burned critics before. But betting on him now means trusting that gambler's instinct one more time. Can it carry him through? Or has the dice finally rolled cold? Kenny Bednarek wasn't supposed to be here. For years, he was the 200 guy. Strong, dangerous, but not a real 100-meter killer. Then came the US trials. Then came 9.79. And in a single night, the label vanished. The race was flawless. Balanced drive, tall posture, devastating close. That wasn't luck. That was skill polished into repeatable form. What makes Bednarek terrifying is error tolerance. He doesn't need a rocket start. He just needs a clean one. From there, his last 30 meters are a trap. He punishes fade. He thrives on chaos. Rivals admitted it. When Bednarek is in your heat, you can't relax. He is the nightmare scenario. If Thompson tightens late, if Seville slips, if Lyles gambles wrong, Bednarek is the man who picks their pockets. Here's the verdict. Gold. Kishane Thompson. The ceiling is too high. The rounds look too polished. If he holds late, gold is inevitable. Silver. Oblique Seville. London's speed plus Lausanne's grit equals medal security. He's proven he can survive chaos. He's proven he can dominate order. Bronze. Kenny Bednarek. That 9.79 wasn't a cameo. It was a declaration. He punishes mistakes. He's error-proof in finals. On neutral ground, he edges Lyles. But if Noah nails his start, medals shuffle. The wild cards? Coleman's first 30 meters. Simbine's steadiness. Blake's youthful fire. They're the ghosts in the machine. The margin between gold and fourth? Hundredths. That's sprinting. Cruel, unfair, breathtaking. When the tape breaks, the consequences begin. If Thompson wins, he becomes sprinting's new measuring stick. Every start drill, every relay anchor, every Diamond League headline will measure against him. If Seville medals, the almost tag dies, and Jamaica reloads its dynasty. If Bednarek cracks bronze or better, America doesn't just have a 200-meter monster. It has a double threat who changes relay strategies overnight. If Lyles misses, expect vengeance in the 200. History shows he turns disappointment into devastation.